So you saw the last part, and this is hopefully what you would have had done by the end of part 1. Now without further ado, let's move on to part 2. Alright, so first things first, you're going to want a 1x2 plate in green, and you're going to want 2 of those. Place them together, top of each other like that. Next you want green little plates that have like a little, I'm not sure what that's called, but it's like an overhanging bit, and you want 2 of those and place them on top to create that, and then place that on top of that. Finally, you then want a 1x2 green tile. Yes, there we go, and place it on top to create that. Then bring back your other assembly and place it on top. Alright, now next we're going to want an upside down green arch piece with a 1x2 plate in green on top. Place that there. Then you want a 2x3 upside down inverted green slope. I had 1x2 1x3s, but you want to make those 2 to make a 2x3, so that will be stronger, with a 1x3 green tile on top, and place it on top. And it should look like that. And put this on this side of Roley. There we go. Next we want an upside down 1x2 green arch with a 1x4 green plate with a 1x1 green plate, and then those 2 1x2 green plates turn into a 1x4, so the same one as this, on top of each other to create that. Make sure the 1x1 tile is there, on one plate is there, and the 1x2 tile placed on top. And place that on the very edge of the green arch piece. Future Josh here, I made a mistake, so I actually want to add a 1x2 plate to the bottom of your last assembly that you made. And then that should be right now. So the rest of this will be incorrect afterwards, but what you have now is correct. Place this 1x2 all the way at the back of your single green slope bit. Then we want the exact same assembly we had for that side, but this time put the 1x3 on the other side. So not the right, the left this time. Like that. So I want one of these, once again overhanging green plates, place it there, and get 2 1x2 green plates on top of each other like this, and place it like that. And you want to double that assembly. Here we go. And place on top to create that. Then finally we want a green overhanging bit with a 1x2 green cheese slope. Place on top like that to create that. So it should look like that. Now next we're going to want a 1x4 green plate with a 1x1 green plate on the bottom of a 1x2 green hinge piece. So basically those are 2 pieces, but they're connected to make one. So that way they can hinge like that. So for now, just keep that straight. And then get a second one, place on the other side. So there should be a 1x1 gap there. and make sure they hinge this way, not that way. So the back of these pieces you then want to place in the middle of that once we're done with the assembly. So for now, we keep that on the side. And next we're going to be building a bit of a tricky assembly. Alright, so we're going to want a 2x3 green tile with a 1x2 green plate on the bottom, like that. Next we want 3 green arches, so these pieces, placed on top of a 1x3 green plate. And get 2 of those. Then finally, place it like that. And like that, so it should look like that. There we go. Next, flip it upside down, and on the back we want a 1x3 green brick. Place it. And then we want a 2x3 green brick with a 2x3 green plate. Place on the bottom. To create that assembly. Then with the back of this, grab your little arch piece or your hinge piece and place on the back like that. So we're starting to form Roley's arch bit that goes in front. So then place that aside. Alright, next we want a 1x3 green plate with 2 1x2 green plates on top of each other, like that. And we'll just keep that separate for now. Place it like that. Next, you want a 2x3 green tile. Place on top of the 1x3 like that. So now since you've got that, you want a 2x2 green slope piece with a 1x1 green brick placed on the bottom. And you want to place that to the side like that. Next we want a 1x1 plate with a 1x1 green brick with a hole through it. Technic green brick. And place that right there. Okay, we'll flip this upside down. We'll be creating the next assembly. Alright, so next we want a 1x2 green plate placed on the bottom of a 1x2 green brick with a hole through it and a friction red or dark grey Technic pin put in the middle. And you're going to want to place that on the very corner of your brick like that. Next we want a 1x2 green slope piece with a 1x1 green brick placed on the bottom. And you want to place that on top, like that. Then we want to create the exact same assembly we had on the other side. 1x2 green plate with a 1x2 green brick with a hole through it. And you want to place that right there. Now we're going to build the eye assembly. So we're going to want a green headlight brick with a little green circle plate. Next, we're going to want a little green dome piece and place that at the back of the headlight brick. So the whole piece, that's where the stud goes into, like that. So next we want a green circle white jumper plate. Place at the bottom, and we want a a round black whole circle piece, or just a circle tile, and place that at the bottom like that. So you should have a jumper plate facing at the bottom of the brick. And then finally, slot these two together. If you want to, you can align those two holes like that. And there you go, you created one of Roley's eyes. Create an identical one and place it to the other side. Green circle bit on the Technic pen. The reason I wanted a friction Technic pen is because that way you can actually move these and they won't just flop down. These are actually good for Roley's eyes because Roley's eyes are so light, they're not just going to fall back down. If it was a normal Technic pen, then they'd just fall back down. The last piece we're going to build is Roley's mouth, his little grill piece, which actually is a really cool technique on how to build it. First we want a black snot piece, studs on all sides. It's so hard to say, sorry guys. Like that. And then on top of it, you want two 1x2 black tiles and a 1x1 light grey tile. Well, those are plates. That's a tile. And place on top of the black like that. Next, we want a light grey 1x2 arch piece with a 1x1 black plate at the bottom and place on the side like that, and create another one identical and place on this side. So you should have created this cool little assembly. Then finally, get a 1x2 grill light grey piece and place like that to create Roley's mouth. Finally, you see the little stud at the bottom? Slot it into the hole there. And once that's done, that is how it should look like. Now grab the two assemblies, slot this middle piece into that middle hole. That way your tiles should be perfectly aligned like that. And finally, this whole bit slots into that little hole at the back. Angle the slope down to create that. And there you go. That is how to build Roley Part 2. Now mess around with how you want the eyes to look and the mouth, but it's all up to you. So there you go. That is Part 2 of how to build Roley. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys all next week for the final part. See you guys then.